So hello students, I guess you are fit and fine at your place. Yes. So let's start today's class. Okay students. So students, I have an activity for you. So where you have to write it down those objects which in your surrounding. So you have to move your legs in the left and the right. So you have to tell me what are the elements, what are the objects, articles which is your in surrounding. So let me draw a line for you, so you can write it down your answer in the comment box students. Okay students, so let's see what are those objects in your surrounding. So you can write it down your answer in the comment box. So those objects which in your surrounding, you have to write it down. Okay, so let's see. I can see in my front of my I can see this is a marker, right? Marker I have, and I have a in my near to me is my duster, right? And the pencil, I can see one notebook is there. So students, I can also see the scale, see these scales, right? I can see some cotton clothes. So students, these are the materials which is in my surrounding, right? And table, chair. So students, do you see these? And so these are the objects you can see in your surrounding. So students, do these objects have a leg? They can move here and there? No. Yes, they are at a one position. You, if you want to change the position, if you want to place this duster from one table to another, you have to take it in your hand, then you will place it another, because this duster doesn't have any legs that it will move from his leg to other side of a table, right? So students, we have an activity students. So what we have an activity, let's see. So you have to look at the fan, okay, and you have to switch it your fan on if you have a fan, okay, and you have to switch on the fan. Now students, you can see this type of movement of a fan, right? So what do you observe now? There is a motion, there is fan is moving in the circle, right? So do you say that the fan is now it is moving? Do we say that? Yes students, so basically we are going to discuss about the motion. Okay, our topic, we are going to discuss about the motion of an object. Okay, so let's talk about what is that. So the movement of any object is called motion. So whenever we have motion, how you can say that a movement of an object is called a motion. Okay, so see, a fan is moving circular, so we can say it is in motion, right? So the common characteristics of all the moving bodies is that they change their position with time. So basically they work according to the time. So you can come to know that students, look at this image. This is a car A, right? And this is a car B, right? So car B, you can see this is the only same car, okay, and this, it is moving on the road, right? And you can see after a car is moving, after 5 seconds the car is reaches to B point, right? So we can say that this car is in motion. So see students, the car is at A first, right, and it reaches to point B point after some time. So then we can say that that car in some motion, because it replaces a place from one point A to B at some 5 seconds. Okay, in some 5 seconds it changes its position. So that way we can say that car is in motion. Now students, next we have an object is said to be in motion. So how we can say that object is in motion? When it is moving, okay, its position changes with the time. So with the time, the position got changes. For example, when the position of car changes with time, we can say the car is moving. Okay, the same situation we discussed, this is the situation where the car is moving, right? With the time the position is being changed, right? So students, then we can say the car is in the motion, or the car is moving. Okay, now students, see, when object is stationary, stationary means it is not moving. Okay, after 5 seconds the car is only at a, after 1 second, 2 second, only car at a point. So we cannot say that the car is moving because it is at one place, it is not moving. So that we play name as that position is called, that state is called rest. Okay, so first is we discuss about motion, then we have a rest. Whenever any object which is not moving, then we can say that is rest. So you can see there is a house and tree are stationary, so then we can say they are not in motion, right? So here we house, tree, right, buildings, which are all are rest, right? And what are the motion? On the right hand side there is something which are moving. Yes, yes, see, the man is running, so this is coming in the motion. The bird is flying, so they are coming under the motion. Okay, if they sit at the tree, then we can say they are at rest, but now they are flying, so they can say that they are in motion. Okay students, now students, one question arises, if an body is fairly fast, see, if there is one car, okay, it is moving very fast and reaches at this point. After some times it goes to other direction and moves some slowly. So students, it become difficult to observe its movement, right? It first it go with fast and then it comes with slow. So do you say this movement is also motion? Yes students, yes, this is also a motion, because if an object moves very slowly, then it is very difficult to observe its movement immediately, right? But we can say that this is also in motion. Whenever we have any motion of a body which is moving with respect to changing its position, with respect to position with the time, then we can say that with the time we can say that the motion of a body. Okay, now students, there is a MCQ, choose a correct answer. So there is, firstly read the statement, then you go with the answer. Okay, so a building is always present in which state? It is a rest, motion, or both. A and B and D is none of the above. So students, make sure you read it completely, the statement and the options. Sometimes what we have, the questions are very confusing and option also. So please choose which is the best option from these, choose the correct answer. Okay, so building is always present in which state? It is a rest, motion, both A and B, and none of the above. So write it down your answer in the comment box students. Yes, very good students. So I get your answer. That means the building, we have seen the building is always at the rest position. So okay students, you check out your answer. Do you get the same answer or not? Okay, now students, I have an image for you. Let's see what is the image. See, what are those? First, write it down your observation in the comment box. Okay, very good. I think you have done your task. So basically we can say that in the first, a man is running, right? And we can say it is, he is running in the straight one, right? And this clock which is showing 3 o'clock, right? And this clock is moving with the its hour or minute hand in the circular, right? If we talk about its hour or hand, so it's moving in the form of a circle, right? It starts from here, it reaches to here only again. So that means for a 12 o'clock if you want to do, so the clock has to be come across all the then it comes to the 12 only. So this is that we can say the clock is moving in the circular, right? So students, do you consider that these are the some types of motion? Yes. So basically now we are going to discuss about the types of motion. Okay, so let's see what is that. So types of motion, under that we have a first type, that is rectilinear. So what is rectilinear motion? What do you understand by, if you look at this person who is running in straight direction, so we can say that that motion where the objects move along a straight line. Then we can say if any object is there which is moving in the straight line, not a zigzag pattern. If it is moving in the zigzag pattern, so that is not a rectilinear. If it is moving in a straight line, that is a rectilinear. So this is a rectilinear motion. Okay. Now students, I have pasted some examples in front of you. You can see here march past of soldiers. So here you can see march past of a students they are doing, and they are moving in the straight one. They are not going zigzag. That is not a rectilinear. So that means that this is rectilinear when an object is moving in the straight direction. Then we can say it is a rectilinear. Okay, like sprinters in the race or falling stones. Some you can see here the falling apple is there which is falling from the tree. That is, you can see this is a straight. It is not falling in the zigzag pattern, right? So that is not a rectilinear. So it is moving in the straight line. So now students, you can see here a person is pushing a box. So he is pushing it box in the straight line only. You can see here is a box and he is giving a push, so the box will go in that direction only. So that way we can find it out the types of motion. In that way, first we have a rectilinear motion. Okay, let's see the second, which we have talking about the clock, right? For the clock we have a circular motion, because in the circle that clock is moving, so then we can say that that is a circular motion. So first we have discussed that is rectilinear, and for the circular, let me draw a circle we have for circular. Okay students, so remember from the circular motion we get the circular path. Okay, so those objects whose motion in the along with the circular path, then we can say that is circular motion. Like hands of a clock, right? Blades of a fan. Whenever you see the fan is moving, so fan is also moving in the circular way, right? When the object moves on its own axis, then it is called a rotatory motion. So this is circular motion. It is also known as a rotatory motion. So remember these points students, it's very important. Okay, so you can see a ferry wheel is here, right? So does this ferry wheel is saying a circular motion? Yes, you can see this is a circular motion only. Right? So that way you can find it out that it is in a circular motion. So as a clock also move in a circular motion 24 hours every day. Okay, so that when we can say that is in a circular motion. Okay students, now you have to list some daily life examples of rectilinear as well as circular motion. Where do you see more examples? As I discussed, but you have to tell me more. Think about it and tell me in the comment box. Write it down your answer in the comment box. what is rectilinear, thought about it, its definition, then give me the example. For the circular, thought about its definition, how we can say that that is circular motion, then you will able to find it out more examples which is in our surrounding. Yes, very good students. So I think you have done your task. So students, we can say that for the rectilinear motion, if any car is there, right, if a car is there who is moving, if a car is there students, it is moving in a straight line, then we can say this is a rectilinear motion, right? If a car is there who is moving in the circular, okay, then we say that this is in circular motion. Okay student, so that way we able to find it out where this circular motion or there. Okay, if we talk about other example, if right, so there also we have these all types of motions where we find it out in our surroundings. So you will list more examples where you can see it. Okay. So let's come forward. So there is a true and false. March past of soldiers, sprinting in race, and falling stones are examples of rectilinear motion. So this is a statement is correct, that is true, or incorrect, that means false. So you have to think about it and then you have to tell me your answer in the comment box. Yes students, what your answer? Write it down your answer in the comment box. Okay, so there later on I am going to check it. So student, make sure you have read this question properly. Okay, take few seconds and pause the video, then do it. So yes students, let's see what's the correct answer. I guess you have done your work. So basically students, this is a correct, true, right? Because just we studied only for the rectilinear motion, we can say that what is, we can say that the motion of any march past of soldiers and sprinters in race and the falling stones are also examples of rectilinear, right? Few more examples we discuss. Whenever a person is pushing a box or an apple is falling down from the tree, so it is also experiencing the rectilinear motion. Okay, so these are the few examples of a rectilinear motions in our surrounding. Okay students, so let's come forward. So students, yes, you have to identify the name of this. Yes, what is this? Yes students, very good. So basically this is a clock, right? But the clock is which kind of motion it is showing students? In the upper part we have a clock, right? So it is showing a circular motion, right? So you can see at the bottom of it there is this kind of shape is there which is moving this way. What we call that motion? Is it in motion, right? First it's come here, then moves to here, then again here. So that what kind of motion it is following? Let's see and see. There is, have you ever visited to the park and you have done this activity, right? To playing on swings, right? So here also you can see that students, the children are coming first here, then here, then backward they will go. So this is a motion which is doing a practice of coming forward and backward, forward and backward. So this kind of motion, what we call that is periodic motion. What is that, students? That is periodic motion. So what is this motion? This is a type of motion where the object repeats its motion after a fixed interval of time. So this is a motion in which every fixed interval of time then they will practicing the same. So you can come to know that this is a pendulum, right? In the clock, here we have a pendulum, and this pendulum will come here forward, then it will come here, then it goes to here, this position, that this, and back to this position. So this is a pendulum, first coming forward, then middle, then backward, then middle, then forward. So this is up in a fixed interval of time that is going on. Okay, so we can say that the example, that pendulum of a clock, the motion of a child on a swing. So this is also an example of a swing where you experiencing this periodic motion. Okay, students. So these are the few examples of a periodic motion that you come to know that. So please remember important points, that those type of motion which repeats after a fixed interval of time. That means certain period of time that this pendulum goes to move to the first position. Okay. Now students, you have to differentiate the rectilinear, circular and periodic motion by taking an example. So think about the examples that you will differentiate these three motion: rectilinear, circular and periodic. Pause the video and do your work, okay, further regarding how you will differentiate these three motions. So yes, very good, students. So let's see how you can differentiate. For the rectilinear, we can take a car is moving straight line. Okay. For the circular, the car must be worked for the car is moving in circular, right? Circular path. If any person is there who is walking in a path which is in the form of a circle, so a person is going to walk every part of a circle, then we say it is moving in a circular. Okay. If we talk about periodic, we can take the clock and pendulum example, right? So that is very useful for us. So we can write in the pendulum, we have these type of motion. Okay. Now let's come forward. So this is filling the blanks in front of you, students. The type of motion where the object repeats its motion after fixed interval of time, it is called as dash. Which kind of motion it is, students? If any object is repeating its motion after equal interval of time fixed, okay, what do we call that? Yes, very good. So write it down in the answer in the comment box. Yes, very good. That is periodic motion. Okay, very good, students. You check out your answer. So now let's recap what we have discussed. So basically today we have discussed about motion, that is type of motion: rectilinear, circular, periodic, right? So students, now you have to give me the correct answer for this question. So read it carefully and then tell me which of the following is an example of a periodic motion: oscillation of pendulum, motion of a bus on a road, spinning top, a stone dropping from a certain height. So what is that example we have discussed in our class? Yes, very good, student. That is A, oscillation of a pendulum, right? So this is an example of a periodic motion. Very good. So check out your answer. Do you get the same answer? So at last we have, you can see the spinning top. So spinning top is moving in a circular motion, right? This car is in the circular road. We can say it is here. You can see it's moving the straight one, so it is rectilinear. Okay, and here also you can see the earth is rotating around the sun, so it's a circular motion. Okay, but we can say that it is rotating, but it is also moving in the periodic, because at a certain period of time it's work upon some period, so it's circular as well as periodic. So these are the two homework questions, students. You have to find out the similarities and differences between the motion of a bicycle and the ceiling fan. Okay, then you have to draw a map for a classroom, that you roll a ball on the floor. In your map, mark the point where this ball has been started and where is the point it is being stopped. Show the path of that roll a ball has been followed. Okay, did the ball move along a straight line or not? You have to do this activity at the for the map at the homework part. Okay, for the activity you have to visit to your neighborhood, place, member, and the road activities. You have to do it. Okay, you have to make the picture of motion they are doing it, and look at some 10 pictures of different motion, and at the last you have to make a collage and write the types of motion that is present in that particular picture. So this is your task. You have to submit after a 1 week. Okay, students, so I'm going to check it, so do it properly. So thank you. We will meet in the next video with the interesting topic.